today, May 19th, 2018, at the same time that Prince Harry and Meghan were sharing in public their first kiss as husband and wife, I was having a Daniel symbolic dream where the Lord Jesus and I were sharing a kiss in public also for the first time as husband and wife, for the purpose to give further revelation of our future roles in our marriage relationship with the Lamb. Now, I'm not making this up. I mean, our God is spectacular, majestic, awesome, and quite dramatic and amazing. Just look at the galaxies. Just look at the pictures that NASA sends us of what the Lord has created. It's breathtaking. So, I'm still blown away, but at the creative and amazing way the Lord has done this. Well, first of all, you know that our God is a jealous God. He does not like sharing the limelight with those not deserving his causes. And in truth, soon there's going to be the royal marriage, the marriage supper of the Lamb, that it's imminent. Everything's prepared. This is the royal marriage to stop everything for, to watch. It's the one that has the true importance. So anyway, I am not surprised now in hindsight that the Lord timed this in this manner. So let me tell you, it was simple, but the symbolism that everything represented was very powerful and beautiful. It's beautiful, this dream. I had a dream previously where the Lord took me through a very sobering and kind of intimidating training to be his wife, as far as the role of him being the God, the leader, how it's going to be forever. And this one is showing how he's going to be and hold this love for us, this beautiful love for us, this tender marital love for us for eternity. And he did it with a kiss. In this dream, I found myself with Jesus on a sidewalk in the middle of some kind of city. It was stores. We were on the sidewalk. There were stores on either side. There was a main street that went there to either side. And also to our front, there was a long street. And there was before us a very large, I would say king size bed that was made out of beautiful wood. It had 4 posts. And it had a lot of wonderful white comforters on it. It was very welcoming bed. And with us were 2 young girls. Now, Jesus and I and the children, we all got into this bed. And the Lord was holding my hand. And the girls were acting like girls. They were talking, jumping up and down, and you have to take in mind, we were in the middle of the street. Okay, and there was the people walking around us. We were in view of everyone. It was daylight. We were right there in front of everybody. And that's symbolic as well. Now, in at this point of the dream, the Lord drew me close to him and he kissed me. Now, it wasn't the kind of kiss where it was just temporary. This kiss was the kind of kiss that you see and that you pay for to see in the most beautiful romance movies, the most lovely novels of romance where the characters become husband and wife. And it was the kind of kiss that a man gives to his true love, the love of his life that no one else can ever hold a candle to, the love of his life. And while he was kissing me, I'll have to tell you, I was enjoying it, but I was a little bit, I didn't know how to take the kiss. I was worried. I was worried to behave wrong with the Lord. And I was ready to draw back, to not be inappropriate. However, Jesus didn't want the kiss to stop. He did not want the kiss to stop. And he kept me to him. He held me to him, not only with his hold, but with the passion in his kiss. The passion that his lips held mine. And it was a beautiful passion. It was a sanctified, approved passion between a husband and a wife. I knew from my hesitancy that this was the first time this ever happened. And those children, as we were sharing this kiss, this beautiful kiss, they continued to gab and talk and jump around as if nothing out of ordinary, as if Mom and Dad were kissing while they were busy playing their games, and this was just Mom and Dad being affectionate. Nothing shameful, nothing terrible, but Dad loves Mom and Mom loves Dad, and they kiss. They kiss and they share their affection, and this was accepted and normal. Now, this is what these children really represented. They weren't my child. They weren't my children. They weren't our children, but they represented the same, that this kiss was the same kind of kiss that a parents will do in front of the children. That is accepted, it is normal, and it is a normal display of a husband to a wife of love. And also that the bed was in the middle of the street represented that this is the kind of affection, the kind of commitment, the kind of public love that the Lord is going to pour upon us with ferocious commitment, true passionate commitment in front of all creation for all time. This is our place with Him. We are in a covenant marriage, and in this covenant marriage it's going to be sanctified, recognized, and this is how this is the place we're going to have. We're going to be the beloved of the Lord. He's going to have this love for us. He's going to display this love for us that is going to be accepted and recognized by all creation forever. Another thing that was important, from the beginning to the end, the Lord was the initiator of the kiss. He was the dominant leader of this kissing that we were sharing. He wasn't aggressive, but he was the head. He was the male, and I was the female. And this was representative that our roles, the roles that the God has created, will be in place. And it also was symbolic that the roles that the Lord has made between men and women, they're perfect. They are made a certain way. They're not defective. They need nothing more. Just as it was made, it's perfect. What I want to say about that is that the devil has worked to corrupt this perfectly made relationship that God designed. He has put propaganda to make us feel that something is defective about it. And I too fell for that propaganda as I was growing up. I fell for the propaganda that in order for the relationship to be healthy, it was good to plan to spice it up, unexpectedly change the roles, who's dominant, who's not dominant. And in this kiss that the Lord was having with me, it was a representative of the perfect creation that he had and has of the role of the man as the dominant and the woman as the receiver. And it was great. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I love this kind of revelation. I'm trying to tell Jesus I like this one a lot better than when he gave me the one where Christians are going to be exiled to Alaska. Well, not to a literal Alaska, but to a symbolic Alaska here in the United States. But the thing I want to say is that as the marriage of the Lamb approaches, I see the Lord is giving me marriage-related revelations. About 2 or 3 years ago, at the time the Lord was giving me revelation, he gave it to me in the role of him as my father, paternal, and me as the child. And you can see that one in the dream revelation I had of how much evil is allowed in heaven. But I see now that as the marriage supper is approaching, he's giving me these one dealing with and giving revelation upon this. Well, I have to say I love this one very much. Well, let me tell you, what did Jesus look like? What did Jesus look like? He had dark brown hair that came to his shoulders. His hair was perfectly combed. It looked wonderful. It was rich and thick. And he had on a white robe that had more than just the robe itself. It was like those robes that you see Middle Eastern men wear when they're going about official business, very sharp looking. And he was very handsome. Jesus was very handsome. Now, this is important because, you know, in the Bible, we're told in, I believe it's Isaiah 53:2, that God actually created Jesus the man to purposefully not be attractive. He was not attractive when he was on the earth. Even though a lot of artists have interpreted him to be handsome as he was on the earth, he actually was purposely made to not attract in any way. He was made to be just a guy, an average guy that would just blend in, that if he passed by you, in no way would you care to look again. And this was made so that no one would desire him. So he would not be taken off the purpose that the Lord had him for, that God had him there for, which is to be the lamb to pay the price. However, the Bible tells us again, Psalm 45, that when he's king, you know, this is after he had paid the price, he is forever the fairest of all, above any children of men. So Jesus Christ, our God, our Lord, who is King of kings, Lord of lords, faithful and true, he is the most handsome man you will see, period, for all eternity. And he was handsome. Now, because he was kissing me, and we were kissing, his lips were masculine and full. They were wonderful lips, and he was so tender and so sweet, yet so passionate, like as I said, like a dream come true, romantic kiss of your true love, your true betrothed, your true husband, your true spouse, not your soulmate in fornication. The kiss cannot be like the kiss of your true eternal mate. Now, even though I didn't see myself, I knew that I was younger and beautiful. However, from the way he looked at me, I didn't need a mirror to know that he found me beautiful. To him, I was desirable and I was beautiful. And this is how he's going to see us. He's going to see every one of us as very beautiful, very desirable. And he will treat us with this wonderful, beautiful love that shall not, like it does on earth, have anything wicked come and enter within it. Because in the earth, familiarity can breed contempt. Can. It shouldn't if you walk righteous and right with the Lord. But people receive the influence of the enemy to foster them and to accept, to feel contempt toward one another. So that was another revelation that the Lord gave me concerning this. And the other revelation was how I felt. I felt like a bride. I felt like a bride so in love, so thrilled, so blushing as well. A blushing bride being kissed by her wondrous spouse, her wondrous love. It was at the level scripturally in the Song of Solomon, chapter 4. It was that kind of thing happening, where by his look, by his kiss, he was conveying all these admiring feelings he has as his beloved. I was his beloved, and he was just zoning in on that, and he was making it clear. He was making it evident. He was making it public, and by the ordinary behavior of the kids, and no one acted in any way against it. It was represented that this is the accepted eternity, the accepted union that we have with the Lord. It wasn't coincidence that the marriage bed that we were in was public. It represented that it was a marriage that is true and it's sanctioned forever. Now, it just blows my mind that when I woke up, it took me a moment to realize, because I don't watch television, so I don't keep abreast of this thing. But my mother had told me yesterday that about that the marriage was going to happen between the prince and Meghan at what would be today 4:00 in the morning for us, roughly. But you see, I don't watch television, so I was not going to, and I'm not going to watch it. So, oh my gosh, I don't know how to say this. It just totally blew my mind when I woke up. I said, "Hey, it didn't happen right away." I just realized. I said, "Wasn't there a royal marriage today?" And I said, I just realized this dream took place when this royal marriage is happening. And what was more amazing to me is that the kissing, I said, when did they kiss? Did they kiss? You know, the prince and Meghan? I had to look it up. And when I found that there was actually some newscasts at the time they kissed, I was astounded to see that was when Jesus and I were kissing. That's when we were kissing. So when a royal couple in the world was sharing and having for public display their kissing, the Lord was giving me this revelation of the marriage that mattered. The kiss, the public kiss that mattered, and all that it will represent, and about that royal marriage that is the royal marriage that is of importance. It's the one, unfortunately, the world doesn't want to recognize. And they're going to, what they don't realize is that in this one marriage that happened today, all they could do and all they want to do is to be participants. But in the one that the Lord led me through, that is in the scriptures, that is biblical, everyone's invited to become part of it, to have personal experience of this kind of committed, passionate, eternal, true, sanctified, loving commitment from the Lord to those who accept the invitation and become part of the bride. This is the kind of marriage relationship that I look forward to, from a tender, committed, he was committed, and he was utterly public with this display. There's no shame in it because it's sanctified. The marriage bed that he has for us, it is undefiled. When the Lord, and that's one other thing that bed represented, the marriage bed. It was undefiled. The relationship, how the Lord's going to keep that marriage with us, it is pure. It's holy. It's sanctified. It's authorized. It's beautiful. It's this kind of love we have all been yearning for. Yeah, we have not really found, because he's true. He's faithful and he's true and he's so passionate. And he's the best kisser I ever had. What's the best kisser I ever had? Well, I have to say something. Of scale of 1 to 10, Jesus blew the top in the kisser, the person I've ever kissed. He was the best person I have ever kissed, because his kiss was beautiful. It was devoid of anything of crude lust. It was true, pure love. Committed, passionate. He wasn't going to let me withdraw from it, because he was sincere, and he was not going to let me not experience the full passion and love that he wanted to give me. He wanted us to have together. Of course, it doesn't mean we're all going to be having these kisses with the Lord, but I just love this symbolism. I awoke blushing. Blushing because it was like being a bride. Even though, like I said, in a couple of months I'm going to be 60. The feelings that he evoked in me doing this were very much exactly like a blushing bride. That first kiss, it was amazing. It was amazing. And it wasn't the kiss that an adult gives to a child or to a baby. It was a wondrous, wonderful, long kiss. Our lips weren't locked. He was at times, kissing me to hold me, kissing me to be tender, to be soft, to be sweet. Like I said, if you wanted to see the kiss of all that ever hit the theaters, this would be it, because of every single thing of it that was in it, every single emotion of true, of faithful, of loyal, of pure, of the two. Oh gosh, this is really hard to say, but of the truest of love. I mean, in fact, no one is faithful and true. Christ is the only one. So when the faithful and true enters into a marriage relationship with you, you're going to have the love, that kind of love and commitment you've never known before. And if you may not know how to handle it at first, like I did. You're gonna may wonder if you're gonna be out of place. But no, the Lord wants us, and He will put us at ease in such a way that we'll throw aside those concerns, we'll throw aside those worries, and we'll just enjoy this status with Him. That's going to be, like I said, a public thing. That means in front of all creation, all eternity. We were going to have this special place, and from time to time, He's just going to be doting love on us. Just doting, not a love of this passionate ferocity. And there's not going to be any jealousy from those outside that are part of heaven. It's accepted, just like, a husband and wife kissing in front of all the family. It's just accepted, honored, and part of what is. Oh my gosh. And part of what is normal. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When I went to bed, I was exhausted. I've been spending hours and hours and hours, trying to find a place to live. And it's very time consuming, especially if you have a very limited budget and you're trying to do it remotely. So there's no, in any way, any thought on my mind about this marriage today that happened in the world. My gosh, I didn't think I'd be having a dream where the Lord, as my spouse, was kissing me in an amazing way. It was amazing. Now, when I was married to my late husband, when we had our first kiss before the justice of the peace, because we did not marry in church, it was special to us. It was special, and the people present took pictures of it, and my family members, and it was a special moment that I put into a portrait, that first kiss. Well, the kiss that I had with the Lord, it super outdid that beautiful moment, that special moment. The Lord is tender. He is passionately committed. In no time are you going to feel that you are not the love of His life. You're going to feel like you're the love of His life. You're going to feel like you're the one that He loves above everything. You're going to feel that way when He is with you, providing you are part of the bride. Now, if you are not part of the bride, you're going to miss out. Not only are you going to be in this horrible situation that there's no coming out of, but this kind of love, like I said, is what everybody yearns for, and it's there. But anyways, let me just stop, because I think I can really keep going on. I wish I could go on. I could talk about this kiss for a long time, because it was wonderful, and I'm afraid that I'm not capturing how amazing it was to experience it I can't talk about it without blushing, because it was fresh. It was fresh. I felt like I was a bride. I felt exactly like it. Not all revelations are terrible. Not all revelations. There are wondrous revelations coming for us of the wondrous times. Yet we're entering into dark days. We're entering into the most terrible time. It is for being in the faith. Yet the Lord is imparting to us beautiful revelations that help us to endure to the end. And today I had such a one. I just want to add here, I don't make a penny on Pastor Hill's sale of his book. Pastor Hill, for those who have not heard of him, passed away in 2014. So the message in this book is from a late pastor, not a pastor who is alive today in an existing ministry. I feature it. The reason I show it here, you can find the details by watching my video on the dream that the Lord gave me that ties up 8 years of my being led by the Lord in this separate mission He gave me